Hey guys, it's Marble Tyler here, and I want to start a new series today. Do some movie reviews of all things. So I just kind of enjoy movies. I work with a couple film majors, so I like to analyze and kind of talk about movies. And so that's what I'm going to start today. And today, of course, we're talking about the big movie, Black Panther. It came out last Friday, and in case you live under a rock or something like that, it is the latest Marvel movie. It is a superhero movie. It doesn't feel like a superhero movie for a lot of it, but it is a superhero movie. Based on a comic book character of the same name, obviously. Really good. Very culture based. I mean, it does a lot of world building, and I'll kind of get into that. But yeah, extremely great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's got it's already winning a ton of awards and everything else for these amazing I guess financial revenue as well as critical revenue. Or critical revenue. Yeah, that's not a thing. Critically, it's also doing really well. So. Going into starting off with the plot, everything makes sense. I mean, it doesn't exactly like make anything non-believable. Obviously, it's a superhero movie, so there has to be some suspension of disbelief. Yeah, there's this. The idea is that there's this metal, a meteorite that has vibranium as the metal that crashed down this African nation, and these tribes came over it, and they decided to build a nation, even though it's kind of shaky between the different tribes. They built this nation that's technologically superior. It's fine. Nothing about it's like absurd or whatever. Obviously, it's a movie. Obviously, we're assuming there's not some hidden technological nation built out of some asteroid metal or something like that. But yeah, it's believable. It's a great Marvel plot point. It's kind of different from some things we're used to. Of course, there is the classic. I feel like in a lot of Marvel movies, they're like the geniuses or whatever. There's a couple people that, they're just so intelligent or whatever that they can, come up with these unbelievable things, which isn't exactly a bad thing. I just feel like at this point in the Marvel universe we're hitting like between Tony Stark, Peter Parker, Black Panther's sister in this movie. There's just a lot of people that are like, oh, ridiculously smart. That's the only thing that's kind of off-putting to me, but maybe that's just me. I'm pretty sure that is just me. In terms of the setting, this is probably my favorite part. The world building and the way they created, this African nation, amazing. Wakanda is beautiful. Of course, Disney has these, fantastic CGI artists. They create these amazing worlds. 100% down for it. Like I said, beautiful scenery, and they make it a plot point even towards the end with the bad guy. Like it's a gorgeous place. The technology is interesting and futuristic and sci-fi while also keeping it culturally based, and it's just really good. I think the setting was well thought out. Obviously, it's been in the comic books for a long time, but the way they portrayed it in this movie was it was top notch, and that includes like how the culture, in terms of like government and leadership and the way people act, the tribes, just excellent. That's all I have to say is excellent. Great job, probably one of my favorite parts. In terms of the filming and how they framed out the scenes and how it was put together, there's no really dull moments, for me at least. I didn't think anything about it could have been cut or was in there just for world building or this or that. Like I think everything was well filmed. There's a lot of interesting scenes. I remember I talking about it with a couple of my friends, and one of the scenes that just stand out, that's nothing special, nothing cool, but there's a scene, and I'm not gonna go into any spoilers, but there's a throne room scene where the music's going and they have the camera upside down. It slowly twists back, and it's just kind of a really cool scene. That it's filmed really well. Obviously, the CGI artists do a top-notch job every time. Marvel movies look gorgeous, even though a lot of it's digitally created. Looks great. Was well filmed. Again, nothing stood out as, oh, that could have been cut. It dragged out a little bit too long, or they just put that in just to be a homage to an actor or something like that. No, it was all really good. And I'm gonna leave out. I know some people like to really read into it and some of the politics of it, and there's a couple nods, but honestly, I didn't even notice it. The biggest issues I'm hearing about it come from and I don't really have any, but the biggest ones I'm hearing about it come from other people. So if you're not really worried about that, this and that, you're not all about these political movements or political things, that's fine. It's a fun Marvel movie, so you don't have to. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. And in terms of like how was the acting, how was the emotions, was it exciting? Did I feel thrilled or anything like that? Yeah, it was extremely exciting. I was a huge fan of, especially the music. The way they put that together just made you feel like excited and pumped for when any action scenes are going on or any fights, and you want to see how they go, and you want to see how if will T'Challa overcome it. And honestly, the acting in some cases was great, in some cases weren't. I really enjoyed the villain, and I really enjoyed T'Challa. Um, but I also think some of the side actors did a phenomenal job as well. There's some scenes I can't really point any out in specific, but there's some things I was like, oh, that's a little lacking in my opinion. I can't think of any specifics, but regardless, I thought everyone did a great job. I think it was extremely believable. I think they portrayed the characters extremely well. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, just get you pumped. There's no real like emotional moments where you feel like really upset or sad about it, or something's kind of like heart wrenching. Nothing about that really happened, but the acting was well done, the music was well done, and it got you pumped for whenever stuff was happening, or it got you immersed in this culture, and honestly, it made you root for the bad guy a little bit, which I always appreciate a movie that can do that, that can really give the villain either his own personality, where you kind of just you like the villain, or when they just make the villain all out. And they managed to do a little bit of both in this one. It was really really good. Overall, I'd probably give it out a 9 out of 10, or 9.5 out of 10. I think it's really great. I think it could use maybe a little bit more tweaking, or the acting was really good, but maybe there's a couple scenes that could have been done a little bit better or recut, or whatever. But it was top notch, and it deserves what it's getting with all the the critical and the financial success. I'm gonna do a follow up video later this week. I'm gonna go see it a second time. Take my younger brother. We're gonna go see it, and I'm gonna do a follow up video saying, is there anything I noticed? Is there anything, is it better the second time through? Is it worse? Does it kind of fall apart when you actually start to analyze it? So check back for that, and check back for all kinds of gaming stuff. Stay tuned to STG.